I want to represent an idea. I want to represent the idea that you really can make what you want. I want my life, I want my work, I want it to mean something. I want the world to be better because I was here.
Every single day when you wake up, you got two options. You can look at the clock and hit the snooze. You can look at that snooze button, boom. You can hit the snooze button and go back to bed and dream about what you want to have. You know, watching MTV, watching BET, read magazines and dream about what you want to be. Or you can look at that snooze button, kick that clock and get up and go pursue your dreams. Every day you wake up, you got to start with that vision.
My name is Matthew Thomas. I'm a Harlem kid from Harlem, New York. I've lived here my whole life. Harlem has changed over the past couple of years. It's more commercial now. You know, a couple of years ago, you couldn't even tell who was gonna be on the block. You know, different races are moving in. You know, a lot of people are being able to grow up into a good community. It's good, it's good. It's just you haven't seen the real struggle that we really had to go through. For me, a Harlem kid is a single parent household, you know. It's typical, whether you're from New York, whether you're from Tennessee, whether you're from Florida, a single parent household is common. It's not nothing to be proud about, you know. A lot of people take it different ways. Me, I'm like anybody else. To be able to look 50, 60 years from now and be like, I got a chance to do what I wanted to do, like, you know, to really pursue my dreams. I've went to school in Kentucky, I've traveled and I've touched different states. And I've had people tell me like, wow, you from New York, like you must be great up there. And I'm like, yeah, it's great. I said, but it's not everything that everybody makes it seem. Like, you know, I wouldn't want to live nowhere else, don't get me wrong. But it's a struggle to live here, you know, because just as New York is, it's a tourist place where people want to come visit, it could snatch your dreams away easily, you know, if you allow it. You know, becoming a statistic, you know, either, you know, having a kid early, you know, dropping out of school, the jail system, anything you name it, you could become a statistic. And it's common out here, you know. I've had people tell me like, why are you still playing basketball? You know, when I was in high school, why are you playing basketball? You know, it's not gonna get you nowhere. Why are you even being inspirational to anybody? You know, nobody really makes it out the hood and nobody really makes it out the ghetto. And you know, after a while, it got to me. It was like, well, you know, this person didn't make it and he was pretty good. This person didn't make it, he was pretty good. And I was just like, I don't wanna be a woulda, shoulda, coulda guy. I don't wanna be one of those guys that was like, you know, I could have went harder, you know, I could have sweated a little bit more, I could have ran that last suicide, I could have, you know, I don't want to be that guy. I want to be a role model, and being a role model is a big thing for me. I put a lot of pride into when I wake up every morning and go to the gym and I work out really hard. You know, I do believe in if you're not working hard, somebody else out there is working harder than you. And to make it pro, you know, that's my big inspiration. I'm going to be a professional basketball player. You know, I want to travel the waters. I want to see how it is overseas. I want to see what it's like to have fans, you know, grope me and, you know, ask for my autograph and, you know, chant my name and everything. I want all of that, you know. That's a great feeling to look at it, you know, whether it's in movies, whether it's the NBA, whether it's overseas, just to look at it and see how you make such a difference in somebody's life. Like, you don't know what somebody's going through. The grass is always greener on the side. That's true. Unless you're there, Like, you know, I pay attention to stuff like NBA kids and things like that. And to see the effect that they have on Africa and, you know, places like Argentina or Haiti and things like that. I've seen a bunch of kids playing basketball in 4 feet water. I mean, they have nothing. And they're smiling playing basketball. And that's basically how I feel. I mean, I'm not struggling like that. I'm not in that type of predicament, that type of situation, but that's what I feel like. You know, I could get into an argument with my mom, or I could get into an argument with a girl, or I get into an argument with my little brother, or my big sister, or my father, or whatever, and I could go on the basketball court and forget about everything. And at that time, I'm at peace. And I love it. Like, you know, what it does for me is it keep me together. It gives me reasons to want to work harder. You know, I've been in school for a couple of years now and I've never had to pay, you know, and I go back to the times when people was like, basketball isn't for you. Basketball isn't something you should do. And I'm like, well, I'm about to graduate with my bachelor's and I've never paid for college. I don't have to worry about being in debt. I've graduated with my associates. It's just a good feeling, like, you know, to have that monkey off your back and be like, wow, like I've done it. Like, you know, I'm a role model to somebody. I don't know. Like, you know, I walk outside nowadays and people see me and be like, hey, Matt, you know, you back home, it's good to see you. And it's love, it's the hood. Like, you know, the hood raised me, and that I can't deny. However, the hood isn't what I want to be known for. You know, I've seen the hood do some crazy things to some good people. I've seen people get arrested. I've seen people lose their homes, have to move out, you know, be put on the street, like a bunch of things. So, I mean, I want better for myself. I want better for my family. There's nothing wrong with having that needle in the haystack dream. There's nothing wrong with it. It gives you something to wake up to. You know, people have religion, or people have tradition, or they have things that they're used to doing all the time that helps them, you know, cope throughout the day. And basketball is mine. Like, you know, seeing my mother work all the time and, you know, provide for me and never make me want. Everything I had a plate on the table, you know, whether I didn't have something on Christmas, I had something on New Year's, I had something for my birthday. Like, I never had to want. I didn't really know what it was like to want. Like, you know, she spoiled me and it was good. And it's what I feel like is I want to be able to return that favor. Like, you know, spoil my mother, you know, just to see her happy and to see her, you know, smile all the time the same way that she makes me smile. And, you know, it's good to have people in the family such as myself and my sister. My sister's a doctor right now, and she's doing her thing. Like, you know, and it's good to have that type of role model. You know, my sister would never know, like, yeah, she was my role model because she was so good in school. And it's like, now I'm a role model to my little brother. Like, I'm doing good in college. You know, it's like, wow. It's just like, we breaking the generational curses out here, you know. And I don't want nobody to think like, okay, well, he's different. I'm different, yeah, in the way that I approach life. But I'm the same like anybody else. Look at the situation, and I just think differently about how to go about it. You know, I'm a young black African American. You know, statistically, there's no different. You know, you hear it on the cops radio. Yeah, there's a black guy walking down the street. It could be any of us. It could be anybody out there, and anytime you can be stopped. I just, you know, I want to dress different. I want to walk different. I want to hold my head high, and, you know, I want people to look at me and be like, oh yeah, I know that kid. He's a good kid. You know, he's doing something with his life. You know, when I sign papers, I don't want to just sign papers and be like, yeah, that's my John Doe hand signature. I want people like, that's his autograph. Like, yeah, that's somebody. Like, I remember when he was little and, you know, he was being bad, you know, chasing after girls and, you know, having big fights and all that. Like, I want people to be like, yeah, that kid's a good kid. You know, he came from something that a lot of people can't, you know, downplay. That's who I am.
That's it? I thought y'all woke up to work this morning.
Yeah.
Anybody doing this early in the morning?